Good morning. I'm going to go through the fourth grade pretest, which is just like your module 4 test today that you're going to take part 2 on fractions. The first two problems you'll see you're looking for equivalent improper fractions and mixed numbers, common fraction or improper fraction, or you're comparing them with the less than, greater than, or equal to sign. So the first thing I recommend doing, which we've been practicing in class, is fill in the number line. The number line will help you. Notice for both 3 and 4, all the fractions have a denominator of 8. And you can see on the number line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that each whole is broken up into eighths. So the first thing I'm going to do is start counting my fractions. Now the main mistake is notice it starts at 1, not 0. So I know 1 is the same as 8 eighths. So I'm just going to count up and I'm going to do improper fractions on the top. So that would be 9 eighths, 10 eighths, 11 eighths, 12 eighths, and I'm just going to keep going. I know a trick if I'm counting up by eighths, the numerator goes up by 1. So I'm just going to keep counting up by 1. I'm going to make sure to label every single tally so I don't forget one, all the way to 3. And I know it takes a while, but I promise you, if you label it, it's going to help you get all of your answers correct. The most or the biggest problem that students struggled with in previous years, my previous fourth graders, is they didn't fill in the number line or they rushed and skipped some of them and didn't take their time, and then they got the wrong answers because they mislabeled. So double check that your numerators are going up by 1/8. Denominators are always 8 because each whole is broken into eighths. We're not changing the denominator. And you could label each one at a time. Sometimes it's quicker to just do the numerators than the denominators. And it's easier to do on paper. It's a little bit harder on Cami. I'm doing it with my mouse pad, so it takes a little bit longer, but I know it's going to help me. Okay, now to double check, I know 8 divided by 8 is 1. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So I know I labeled this correctly. I always check with my whole numbers. If you divide the numerator by the denominator, it should equal that whole number. Okay, then I'm going to switch colors and I'm going to label the mixed numbers. So the main mistake students make here is they write 1 and 9/8. That does not make sense because that is one whole more than 9/8. If the mixed number and the improper fraction are at the same spot on the number line, they should equal the same thing. So once you hit a whole number, you start over with your eighths. So I would go 1 and 1/8, 1 and 2/8, 1 and 3/8, 1 and 4/8, 1 and 5/8, 1 and 6/8, 1 and 7/8. Now next would be 1 and 8/8, but remember 8/8 is 1, so that's 2 wholes. Now again, another mistake students make is they say 2 and 8/8 or 2 and 9/8 or 2 and 17/8. Once you hit a whole number, if you're doing mixed numbers, the eighths start over. So this is 2 and 1/8, 2 and 2/8, 2 and 3/8, 2 and 4/8, 2 and 5/8, 2 and 6/8, 2 and 7/8, And then 2 and 8/8 is the same as 3 wholes. Okay, so that's going to probably take the longest time for your test today. But now that I've labeled my number lines with improper fractions on top, or the common fractions is what they call it here, and mixed numbers on the bottom, the problems for 3 and 4 are going to go a lot faster. So I'm going to switch colors again. So the first one, it says write the equivalent, meaning they equal the same thing, or they're at the same spot on the number line for 10/8. 10/8, I need to find 10/8. That's my improper fraction or my common fraction. What mixed numbers at the same spot? 1 and 2/8. That's 1 point. Now 21/8. I found it over here, so I'm going to circle it. What mixed numbers at the same spot? 2 and 5/8, which means they're equal. They're at the same spot on the number line. Then 17/8, let me find that. I'm going to circle my mixed number. That's equivalent, 2 and 1/8. So see, once you take the time to number your number line correctly, these are a lot faster and easier to do. So now I'm going to move on to comparing greater than, less than, or equal to. Let's start with 14/8. So let's see here. I'm going to use green now. 14/8 is here. 1 and 6/8. Oh, look, it's at the same spot. So I know these are equal. Now let's move on to 13/8. Switch colors so you don't get confused. 13/8 is here. Compared, oh man, 3 and 1/8 isn't even on here. That would be way over here. 3 and 1/8 way over there, so I know that is greater. Remember, the alligator mouth eats the greater mixed number or fraction. Then, last but not least, let's try orange. 1 and 5/8 is right here. 12/8 is right here. Oh, 1 and 5/8 is barely more. It's 1/8 more, but it is still greater. So that is the answers to those ones. And I use my number line to help me. Then the last problem on your test looks like this. So each large shape is one whole. Complete each section to show how much is shaded. Then I need to write the common fraction or mixed number. And then the common fraction or improper fraction, and then the mixed number. So the trick here, whatever I see here that's filled in, that's going to go in this first box. Second shape goes in the second box. Third shape goes in the third box. So here I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces are shaded out of 8 total. So that's 6/8 of it is shaded. This one I see all of them are shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a whole, or 8 out of 8. Now, do not simplify these, because in order to add them, which notice you're going to add them together to find the improper fraction, they have to have the same denominator. So a few people tried simplifying it in one of your assignments this week. Denominator for all of these should be the same. Just going to add that there. My whole number will go before it. So then I have this one, 1, 2, 3. That is 3/8. That's 3 points for just filling in the fraction of the whole that is shaded. Then this part here, I'm adding these together. If I add all of them together, how many total 8s do I have? You can add the numerators, keep the denominator the same, or you can count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I got 17. I'm just going to check. 8 plus 3, 11, plus 6, 17. Yep, I did that correctly. And now, how many wholes is that equal to? How many wholes is that equal to? So there's a couple tricks that you can do for this. One is you can kind of piece it together looking at the picture and think, oh, if I combine pieces, how many wholes can I make? How many total wholes can I fill in? So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I know this is one whole already. All 8 of those are shaded in. And I noticed this one's missing 2. So if I took 2 from this last shape, I could move them here to fill this in to make another hole. And then those ones would be gone. So then all I have left is 1/8. So I know I could make 2 holes with 1/8 left over. That is 5 points. You get 1 point for each of these. Even if you do the first 4 and can't figure out the mixed number, that's still 4 points. Another way to find this out is I like to break it up into 8s. So, because I know 8/8 is a whole. How many 8s go in to 17? Well, I know 8 plus 8 is 16. So that means 8/8 plus 8/8, that's 2 wholes, because I have all 8 out of 8. But that's only 16/8, so I need to add 1 more. So that's another way for you to see, oh yes, that's 2 wholes and 1/8. Last but not least, this last one down here, same thing. This time I see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I know 10 is going to be my denominator for all of these, including the denominator for my fraction that is with my whole number, for my mixed number here. So I can just fill in 10, so I know I get that correct. Then I see there's 6 filled in this first shape, 6/10. 1, 2, 3, 4/10 for the second shape. I see all of them, 10 out of 10 for the third one. Again, I need to add those together. Oh, I noticed that equals exactly 20. So guess what? If I move these 4 here, it makes exactly 2 wholes. So I could say 2 and 0/10, that's correct. Or I could just say 2. It makes exactly 2 wholes. 20 divided by 10 is 2. So please look through this if you had any confusion on your pretest, which is just your practice test. And then good luck. Your test looks just like this, just different fractions and different numbers. So good luck.